Well, Terry, a really difficult day on the racetrack for American Magic. We could hear the frustration on board. How hard a day is this?
Actually think it was a difficult day for all three of the teams. We just didn't do it as well as they did. And, it's hard to draw too many conclusions. We were off the foils in both pre-starts, and, we know Patriots' strengths and we know our weaknesses. And I think probably now a lot of people know our strengths and our weaknesses. But the first race we passed Luna Rosa down the first run, and we gave ourselves a chance, and they got up and going before we did, and that was the race. And in the second race, we did nice work just kind of connecting the dots up the first beat, as did Ineos. And we, at least asked the question, but, obviously it was quite dynamic, and really the first boat to get out of the water was probably going to be the first boat to win the race. And, and that's kind of how it played out. So, I think we're going to continue to stay on our path and continue to stress inside the team that we just be consistent day in and day out and learn from what mistakes we made today and carry them forward tomorrow. But it would probably also be a mistake to dwell on it too much. I think the strength of our team is that there's a fair amount of experience and we can see the day for what it is, and it's all you can do.
We've seen in this game how, tiny changes have a massive effect. How do you move it forward?
Probably a bit of patience. I don't think I don't draw too many conclusions from today, and I can look at the last three races and I can see tactical mistakes that we made in race one yesterday, and then these two races I know exactly where the issues lie, and I know collectively as a team, we'll talk about how we don't come off the foils in the pre-start and what we can do better there, and then from there, not overanalyze something that's a bit random and a bit in the conditions, but all you can also say, well, the other teams did nice work with it as well, and so it would be a mistake not to be critical, and I would always temper us by being too critical. It's not like we sailed the wrong way or went away from the wind shift, or so some of that stuff I think we just have to be smart about and methodical.
Thank you, Terry. Well, Ben, you surprised a lot of people. What did I say, Ben?
You did.
I have written Giles at the top. I mean, Giles, you've surprised a lot of people yesterday with your performance. But going into today, there was, real doubts about the light wind performance. You're now 3-0 up. Winning in these light airs, how big a step forward is it for the team?
Yeah, it is a big step forward. I think today though was a tricky day, and it wasn't your typical light foiling sailing day. Today was really won and lost by having a boat that could take off and get out the water. And for sure, we've made good steps in the light. We still feel like we need to make more gains there. But yeah, being able to put a win on the board in those tricky conditions is great for us.
Let's talk a little bit about Ben. I mean, there's been a lot said, hasn't there, about the team and the boat over the last few weeks. He's been a man under pressure. Now you're racing and you're competitive. How up for the fight is Ben Ainsley?
Well, I think you've kind of seen how up for the fight he is. We've been through a lot of hurt over the past couple of months, and we've had a boat that we haven't been able to do much in, and now we've got something underneath us that we're back being competitive. It's great, and we're mad for a fight.
The team decision making looks solid. I mean, it's a joy to listen and to watch, and there seems to be an incredible amount of trust between you and Ben. Talk to us about that, and also, how much pressure is there for you to get it right?
Yeah, well, when you sail with the best, you have to make sure that you can step up and do your part. Sailing with Ben, you certainly have to bring your A game. So that's what all of us try and do. I'm not alone in that. The trimmers, grinders, everybody, pilots, everybody's just trying to bring their very best to the table. And yeah, over the past few days, we've sailed solidly. We feel like our communication's good. We feel like we've set the boat up pretty well. It's very adaptable. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting back into it tomorrow.
Thank you, Giles. Well done today.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
A win on the board in really tricky conditions. How important did that victory feel for the team?
Oh, it's very important. We needed 1 point on the board, and very hard conditions, but inside the win limit. So we have prepared our boat for those conditions, and we are happy that we could win that race. It was a very hard one.
It sounded and looked sharp on board, decisive. How did that decision making feel on board?
It's very important, calling the pressure and going in the pressure. It was the key today. We had some moments where there was no pressure at all anywhere, and we had some tough moments because when the Americans overtook us on the first downwind, was not a funny moment at all. But we keep it calm and smooth, and when was our moment, we did bite, and that was good. Was that good enough with the music?